If it's a long kiss goodnight, isn't that enough? I mean, if you've had a really bad kiss, then all bets are off and the brakes are on, full stop, right? So if you can imagine having a very long kiss goodnight, then that's a good sensation. You're enjoying it. So isn't that romance enough? And does it need to go any further? Don't answer. Don't raise your hand. Pardon my interruption. When I was talking about a long kiss goodnight, that was before I realized that fragrance for the world of Chris Collins was not included in that discovery set. So my apologies. I was eagerly anticipating the scent of that fragrance so that I could try it out with you, but that was a 5-piece collection, and in my anticipation, I overlooked the fact that that particular fragrance was not included, so that's why I began the video the way that I did. So we're just going to have to wait a little while to get our long kiss goodnight. But when I do, you'll be the first to know. Let's continue. Okay, so I want to feature in this video the 5-piece Covrette Luxury Fragrance Sampler Collection from the world of Chris Collins, and here is what I'm referring to. This was a purchase I made last year during the Sephora sale when they have their annual sale in the fall and in the spring. I purchased this, and the price is extremely reasonable at $25. And so if you get it, on the discount, then there's an additional savings. But really, for most budgets, this is going to be a friendly option, and certainly something that many of you could acquire if you're curious about the fragrance collection offerings from the world of Chris Collins. I only have one, and that is Forbidden Apple. I have the travel set. No, I have not sprayed it yet, but I do know what the fragrance smells like because I did have a chance to try that one in store. However, these, I don't have any knowledge of what they smell like, so I thought I would share that experience with you and try it out here, and let's just see what we have. So before I go any further, let me share with you what is inside of this collection that I am holding. The one from Sephora is going to feature Forbidden Apple. It also has African Rooibos. It has Harlem Nights, Lost in Paradise, and Lust ou Délice Extrait. So this is the 5-piece collection, and these are 2 milliliter selections. I want to introduce you to Chris Collins if you don't already know who this gentleman is. He is a Black-owned fragrance owner, and he is the world of Chris Collins. I will share with you one of the quotes that I see featured on his website. Fragrance is a portal, a way to transcend time, place, and memory. And I'll pause there so that you can go and read the additional notations for yourself, because it is worth the read. And I will certainly venture to agree that fragrance is indeed a portal and something that transcends time and places and memory, because so many things are related to our senses, how we see, feel, touch, taste, and enjoy life itself. So when you're in the line of fragrance and you can relate that to something good or bad, it's definitely transcending. And I am telling you, I'm certainly thankful that Chris Collins has joined the world of fragrance and that he is here to help us continue to celebrate 365 Black ownership of something so luxurious and exquisite, the world of Chris Collins. Let's continue. So let's try out, in no particular order because I'm curious about all of them. Give me a moment to release the fragrance. No need to struggle on camera. Okay, so the first one I'd like to share with you is Lost in Paradise. And this is described as serene, wistful, intuitive, as a solar floral fragrance. Don't quite know what that means other than to share with you the notes from the site on the world of Chris Collins. The top notes would be coconut water, ylang-ylang. The heart will give you peach skin, wild orchid, bamboo, and in the base we have salted musk, marine accord, and driftwood. So let's experience Lost in Paradise together. Here is the fragrance in the collection. I don't know if you've ever tried this, but I have not. I've heard so many wonderful things about his entire collection. I can't imagine there being any misses at all in the set. Of course, there's no guarantee that you're going to like all of them, but if you do, isn't that a wonderful thing that you like everything in the house? Let's see. Oh, well, I am getting the floral, the sweet. It's tender. It's warm. It's inviting. It's inviting in that if you're seated somewhere having your breakfast alone, as many of us have dined alone, if you're sitting having your breakfast, perhaps your avocado toast or what have you, eating with your knife and fork, and you see someone who doesn't have anyone to accompany them to a table and the tables are all full, the bistro you're sharing is with an empty seat, you might say, just kind of wave them over. It's inviting in that way. And when they get there, it's just, it's an open hug without an outstretched arm. If you can understand that. This, if you were to come across this fragrance, it's friendly. It's so friendly. It is. Now, this fragrance was described, I told you, as intuitive, and I didn't know that prior to doing this recording. I didn't visit his website, but I will agree, it is intuitive because it's giving you that impression of welcome. Come and sit. Come and join me. And when you do, you're going to feel welcome, even if I don't say the words welcome. This is nice. I would purchase this. Am I going to? It is not the first, because I did tell you I have the Forbidden Apple, and that is certainly worthy of having a full bottle. However, I still have my travel that I have not even cracked open yet. So that will become a full bottle purchase. And his bottles come in 50 milliliters. This is really nice. I could easily add this to my collection and be totally satisfied. Lost in Paradise. Yeah, that's a go. That's a go. Welcome to my collection. Coming soon. Okay, let's go into the next fragrance. I hope I can continue to give you a fair assessment, because that Lost in Paradise is still wafting in the air, and I just sprayed it on this tester strip, and I'm telling you, I can smell it. And that was just with 2 miniature sprays, very minute. That's got some gusto. Okay, I'm going to try and continue, but fair and square, I'm telling you, all in this room is Lost in Paradise. So I'm going to attempt to share with you next the Harlem Nights. Let me share with you the fragrance notes for Harlem Nights. Harlem Nights is described as smooth, daring, exuberant. It is another eau de parfum, 50 ml, and the top notes: rum, clove, nutmeg. I love it already. Heart notes: jasmine, orris, patchouli. In the base, we have sandalwood, amber, and musk. I'm kind of scared to smell this one. Starting off with so many heavy hitters in the top. The one that lingers with you is that sandalwood and the base notes of amber and musk. Let's see what Harlem Nights is going to give us, because again, I'm getting that Lost in Paradise, and with that description, let's see. Okay, you saw me spray, right? Oh. Don't do that. Chris, don't do that. Yes. Yes. I'm reading here the description on his website, and I'm looking at one of the sentences caught my attention immediately. It is definitely giving me the essence of a Harlem speakeasy. One of the sentences says, a harmonious fusion of orris and musk evokes the sensation of indulging in a fine cigar, while a refined rum accord exudes the elegance of top-shelf spirits. Yes, it does. Brother walked by smelling like this. He's only living by himself because he wants to. Okay? And sometimes it's just the way. I mean, I didn't make the rules. I didn't make the rules. Sometimes you can see a person and understand that they are single because they want to be, not because they have to be. And really, there are no hard and fast rules on matrimony, unions, relationships at all. I am just simply saying, if this could be personified into a person smelling like that, and they pass you by, and they are solo coming in and solo going out, it is because that is what they want. Not because it is what they have to have. Can I get anybody that agrees with me on that? You can raise your hand. You don't even have to give me a thumbs up, but just you raising your hand right now, then you understand what I'm talking about. That's enough. That's enough because you know what I'm talking about. And if you don't, just keep living. Live a little while. Okay. Would I purchase this before Lost in Paradise? Probably. I already told you I really enjoy the scent of, I like those Tabasco kinds of fragrances. And even though tobacco, did I say Tabasco? Mercy. There's no Tabasco in this fragrance. I've already shared with you that I do enjoy tobacco-noted fragrances along with vetiver and saffrons and a lot of the scents that are associated with a lot with masculine fragrances, but not all. It's all in the blend. It's all in the refinement. This one, though, ladies, you can still wear this. I'm going to wear it. It ain't going to be no question about my femininity when I do. This smells like a long kiss goodnight. Okay, let me move on. I don't want to bore you. We got 3 more fragrances to get through. Let's go. Were you aware that there was an intense version of African Rooibos? I didn't realize that until I came to the World of Chris Collins website and I see that I was looking for the fragrance notes for African Rooibos, but there is also an intense version. I had no idea. Okay, so this is described as lovely, poetic, and earthy. In the head or the top, we have bergamot, cardamom, black pepper. In the heart, rooibos tea accord, orris butter, and in the base, cedarwood, tonka bean, immortal flower absolute, or immortelle flower absolute. I know nothing about what that might smell like, so I have nothing to equate it with. So let's just give it a spray and see what happens. And then again, in the air, I'm smelling both the Lost in Paradise and certainly the more recently, the Harlem Nights. These fragrances are really pungent, and Chris and I have never met, and he didn't give me anything. I purchased this with my little money. So I'm just saying that what I'm experiencing so far, these fragrances probably have a great bit of longevity and certainly sillage because I've only sprayed it on these little testers and I'm getting an experience. Yeah. So here's African Rooibos. Probably should turn on the fan to get some circulation going. I want to give it, that pepper went up my nostril. Oh, it is tea. Soothing. I just want to take a deep breath of this. The tea fragrances, I think, as I've mentioned to you before, I am not really interested in the edible gourmands. Love gourmands, but not the edible format of gourmands. I do believe I am entering now into my tea fragrances era. This is a slow sip. I would purchase this before I got Lost in Paradise and before Harlem Nights. And you saw my reaction to those, but this is what you want after a long day. And I want this tea hot. I normally don't want, let me tell you something. For me, to give me hot tea is a punishment. Usually whenever I have hot tea, it's when I'm not feeling well. My husband would bring me some hot tea. My mother brought me hot tea. I would sit and let it get to room temperature and then drink it, which kind of loses its potency at that point, right? But I want this tea hot. I want this. And this is, again, not the intense. Just for giggles and grins, let's look at the intense notes. I'm just curious. I had no idea that there was an intense version because every time I hear this spoken about online, I've never heard anyone make mention of it being the intense. And yeah, there's definitely a price difference. So let's take a look. The intense. And sometimes when you have a bold or intense fragrance, if you don't already know, a lot of times there are additional ingredients that are added. So it's not like you're going to necessarily get a replica of the fragrance that you enjoy, like I'm enjoying this one. Sometimes there has to be an additional refinement or added ingredients or some sort of intensity to give it that additional lush boldness that makes it a stronger extrait, or in this case, an intense. This is described as magnetic, radiant, and grounding. Man, oh man. And it is a limited edition. A bold, limited edition evolution of the original. The extrait is deeper, richer interpretation of earthy tea and warm woods. Well, let me tell you something, Chris. He's giving us top notes of bergamot, cardamom, black pepper, heart notes, rooibos tea accord, orris butter, vanilla bourbon absolute in the heart of this one. In the base, cedarwood, tonka bean, Martell flower absolute, and ambroxan overdose. That's going to give you some more bass. It's like a 6-string bass. This is so sophisticated. I'm not getting the grounding from it, but I would venture to say for me, my experience of grounding from this fragrance, and perhaps that one, would be, it is so relaxing. Whatever had you lifted during the day, whatever elevated you, whether that be an emotion, an experience, hyperactivity, whatever it is, this is going to bring you down and relax and chill you out, lean you back in that recliner. I could just go to sleep with this one on my pillow. Man, let's segue. I'm a segue, I gotta move on. I want this first, and I really want to try that one. I wish I had a tester for that one. True intimacy. Okay, I'm moving on, y'all. I'm enjoying this African rooibos tea. Have you ever tried that African rooibos tea in life? I've never tried that. Just thought I'd ask. Okay, so next we have Lust Eau de Lis, and I'm a little nervous about trying this one. This is like Jaws when the caption says, "Just when you thought it was safe to go back into the water." I don't need no help with lust. I know a lot of times people want to think about lust as related to something that is related to sexual. Okay, I don't want YouTube thinking that that's what this video is about, because it isn't. You can lust after food. It doesn't have to always be about a biological experience. Lust is nothing more than an indulgence, of a craving of something that you probably shouldn't have, especially if it doesn't belong to you. That's not what this video is about. Let's just look at the notes for this one. And this one's kind of mid-priced. A lot of his other fragrances are between $175 and up to the $300, a little over the $300 range. This on his site right now is showing at $225, so it's kind of in the middle. Makes no never mind to me, because if I like it, I'm going to acquire it. I will certainly prioritize the need, because all of this is a hobby and a want. None of it is absolutely necessary. We think it is, especially after you experience something like that African rooibos tea. But for my world, it is a want, not a need. The descriptive notes. Enticing, decadent, and provocative. Of course, why not? Why not? And why have a lust fragrance if you can't put chocolate in it? Why not? We're looking at the head notes of dark chocolate, not just chocolate, but dark chocolate. You can get somebody in trouble, Chris. Dark chocolate, hazelnut, walnut. You can just stop right there. Heart, orris concrete, benzoin resin, Cypriol Heart. Those are mid notes. In the base, Oud Asafi, Sandalwood Spicatum, Spicitum. Hold on, I'm gonna get the correct pronunciation of that. Sensual Musks. Stand by, because as a journalist, and I know I didn't get on a news network, but I have to pride myself on the pronunciation. So if you don't know how to correctly pronunciate something, you just don't pronounce it. So did I say pronunciate? Hold on. Okay, so as to throw cold water appropriately on this lust, I am not going to attempt to pronounce the notes in this because some of the ingredients are words that I am not familiar with, and I don't want to discredit my training of understanding that if you cannot correctly pronounce something, including a proper name, certainly a person, place, or thing, then just get the correct pronunciation or don't say it. So I'm going to display the notes for this fragrance, and you make whatever you'd like of that. Ladies and gentlemen, Lust from chriscollins. That is not the formal name. What is the formal name? If I say Lust from chriscollins, they will bring me this bottle, but it does have a formal name. So the formal name is Lust Eau de Lis. Okay, I got that part. So far my ranking is at African Rooibos Tea, followed by the Harlem Nights, and then Lost in Paradise. Oh, I got a mouthful of that chocolate, some of that mist got... Give me a moment. I think I spoke too soon. I didn't know it was going to be that strong, so it kind of went up my nose a little more quickly than I would have preferred. You know how if you've ever gone swimming, and even if you know how to swim, some of that water has the opportunity to go up your nasal cavities, you know, when you aren't prepared for it, so it kind of burns a little bit. That's what I'm getting a little bit now. Some of that fragrance, some of the spray got into my nose. I'm getting all kinds of dark chocolate. All kinds of dark chocolate. All kinds of chocolate. I would love to pair this with the African Rooibos tea. This is one of those fragrances that if it started out as a slow dance, it's going to end up with a dip where you know, if you dance, do you dance? I think partner dancing in general, but certainly if you are dancing with a partner where you're letting the gentleman lead, that is its own aphrodisiac, okay? This is a dance. Oh, yes. Yeah. Let me change. I'm going to have to adjust my ranking. Even knowing that the last one in this finale is Forbidden Apple Croque Moi, so I really don't even need to spray there of what that smells like. But, you know, for the completion of the video and to participate fully, I will spray it. My ranking so far has changed. Lust Eau de Lis, and followed by a very close follow-up, African Rooibos Tea. Harlem Nights, and then Lost in Paradise. Not because these were meant to be in the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 place. No, simply because something's got to be in each one of those categories. Something's got to be number 1, something's got to be number 2, and on down from there. This, mercy. Here I'm looking, it says just 2 spritzes of the sophisticated gourmand, and it is a gourmand. It is not an edible gourmand, but I am getting that chocolate. It creates a warm and tantalizing atmosphere like a candlelit bar at an exclusive hotel. Yes, it does. You exclusive lover, you. Listen, ladies and gentlemen, if you have not yet had an opportunity to experience the world of chriscollins, let me give you a free invitation. And this is not one night only. Let me give you a free invitation. All of these vials are going to be empty. Please do yourself the honor of supporting this wonderful Black-owned fragrance company. Mercy. Get it. Go get it. Just try it. I'm not going to ever tell you that you need to have anything in your collection, but I am telling you, and I've already given you my ranking, this will be a full bottle fragrance. Before the Forbidden Apple, I have that in the travel, but this right here, full bottle. Immediately. Let me go ahead and round out the video with the Forbidden Apple. I didn't want to put down the African Rooibos tea, but mercy. I gotta try out the Intense for that. It's not included in the Covrette set here, but what a luxurious experience this is. I'm truly enjoying it. Let me stop. I won't be rude to the guest. Hold on. I just sprayed the Forbidden Apple. I did it off camera because I started sneezing. But, yeah, this is not a disappointment at all. Not a disappointment at all. This is giving this is how it's described on the site. Explore the tension between temptation and indulgence with Forbidden Apple Croque Noir. A blend of juicy apples, fresh strawberry, and rich bourbon vanilla. Despite its name, the scent is crafted for all to enjoy, and I would absolutely agree. Your top notes are going to start with strawberry blossom, brown sugar, pink pepper, and red apple. In the middle, it's going to give you white rum, pomegranate pulp, fenugreek, and cinnamon. And in your base, you have fir balsam, vanilla bourbon absolute, and Haitian vetiver. Just a grand slam. Grand slam out the park. You cannot. So if you aren't sure which one to try first, and tastes vary. Remember, I eat all kinds of food. I like okra. I like squid. I like sushi. I'll eat porridge. I like all kinds of food. So understand if I say this might be the first that you might want to try out of the set if you're not certain, that is simply my opinion, and it is no better or worse than your opinion. So just take it with a grain of salt over both shoulders, okay? My suggestion, if you're curious about any of these fragrances, I'm only going to suggest this one first because more than likely you might be familiar at least with the scent of a red apple. You might have come in contact with that just in store, eating it at home or at a guest's house, whatever the case. That is probably the fragrance note that you are the most familiar with outside of vanilla. So that would be the only reason I would recommend, if you're not sure about which fragrance out of this Covrette set to try, go with Forbidden Apple. I don't think any of these are bad. I could happily own all 5. I don't think that's necessary, but I could happily own all 5, and eventually it's likely that I will, because again, my fragrance journey began out of a place of pain, and I was trying to, personify all kinds of things to mend that broken heart. However, now I'm in the process of dwindling these things down so that when I go in, as they say, curate my collection once again, having all 5 of these would be a welcome addition, because all 5 of them are different, and yet they would certainly complement one another and many, many things already in your collection. So let me rehearse once again what my rankings would be. Mercy, I don't even think it's fair to put this one in there. This is like a gimme fragrance. Okay, so for the safety net in you, Forbidden Apple Croque Noir, we'll say that that's number 1. I wish I could put it at the 0 so that I could include the rest of my lineup that I really want to get and still have all 5. Because 0 is a number, but for giggles and grins. Safety purposes, Forbidden Apple Croque number 1. I would immediately follow that up with Lust, Eau de Lis, and then I would follow that up with African Rooibos tea. Could be the Intense. I haven't tried that one because it's not included in the set, but the African Rooibos tea is an absolute winner. Then I would go get my Harlem Nights, and then the last one would be Lost in Paradise. So that is my ranking from this 5-piece selection of fragrances. Money well spent, and I got this at a, goodness gracious, it starts, the regular retail price for this 5-piece set from Sephora, again, it is $25 right now on the site. And again, I got this during their fall 20%, the fall set, and I am a Rouge member, so I got it during that that opportunity of purchasing things at an additional discount, and no regrets, no regrets. This would be worth it if you want to get this and wait for the next sale, because a lot of people are going to probably be running to get the Forbidden Apple fragrance. It's the most recent and probably the most talked about because it is the most recent. However, with this being Black History Month, it also gives other people that don't usually have their eye on the Black-owned fragrance brands another spotlight and an opportunity to say, hey, check these out, because they are good. It's not just because they're Black owned. It is especially because they are Black owned. But they are already good at meeting the mark and top shelf fragrances that you would be missing out on if you didn't otherwise try them. So give that a thought. I'm certainly going to consider that. But I think as a milestone, we'll see how many things change on my channel as I experience the growth. We'll see whatever happens, if there are additional views or if I happen to get another comment. Just little things that are encouraging enough to keep you going. You know what I mean? This is not an easy gig. It's sometimes a thankless job for some, depending on if they're choosing to do it as a hobby or if they're looking for a get rich quick. Whatever your zha-zha is, I didn't come to YouTube for any of that, as I've told you before. None of that has been my push. And if it was, I would have stopped. I would have run out of steam by now. But whatever it is, I'll know the milestone when I see it. And when I see it, my first purchase will not be the Forbidden Apple. I think I'm going to go after that lust. Or maybe even check out the limited edition of the African Rooibos tea, because the price is at more of a premium level, but it is limited edition. So we'll see. And I haven't heard anybody talking about it. So I hope that you enjoyed this sit down with me. I certainly enjoyed catching up with you and telling you all about it. And I will share some additional fragrance hauls in the future. And some might be exclusive to brands and some may not. But either way, let's catch up soon, because I've got a lot to tell you. All right? Take good care. Have a good night. Have a good day. Have a good everything.